Hey beauty, it's time for M&M Stress Therapy. It's a Monday here in Rochester, New York, so it's reminding me of the words that start with M as a reminder for bringing in some stress reduction. So, I teach tapping and I help you dive deep and solve a lot of root problems. But its main purpose and its fastest, greatest purpose is to reduce your stress. And today, M&M Stress Therapy is all about meditation. And I know, oh no, meditation. Ugh. I know some of you actually meditate and you have really taken on a great practice. But there are so many ways of meditation. We often don't even realize that's what we're doing. So just stay with me for a second as I talk to you about it, because it is important. And I've just been reminding myself again that it's important for me to do as well. And I find that if I can start the day with some of that, it makes the rest of the day better. But particularly now with this new moon we have, approaching, I guess, not exactly here, but it's the idea of really setting our intentions. And the best way to do that is to go inward and go to your heart and ask your higher self, your guides and angels, all of it, to assist you in finding what's really the best for you in everything. Letting go of what no longer works for you. And it can take time. So I want you to just feel into that whole idea that taking a moment for yourself is the first step. This can happen while you're out on a walk, which is one of my favorite places to go, and just commune with nature, look for the critters and the birds and feel into the trees and whatever, the water that's nearby, anything. Just breathe and take this moment, first of all, for quiet time. We are being asked to be quiet because the world is really noisy. And there's so much going on that our brains are getting loaded with all kinds of what-if questions, right? And it's worrisome. We want to be able to regain strength in silence. Regain strength with silence, giving ourselves permission, sitting still or walking quietly and breathing. It's not about emptying your mind. It's about focus and then letting go of the focus. So you can do this by gazing at a candle, right? Looking out the window, watching birds. You can do this in multiple ways. And it's different for everyone. So I want to refer to my own book, which I always have at least one of them on display back there for you to remind you of the wealth of information in here. Not to mention the stories. Some of them are funny. Some of them are really heartwarming and others might be heart-wrenching, but they're amazing. And they really help give you examples of how we can get stuck within our system. It's just my way of showing you how to move through certain things and how to recognize where things are stuck in your body and understand that. But I wanted to go back into, at the back of the book is the playbook where we have exercises that correspond with all the chapters. I don't ever call it a workbook because I don't like that word work. I mean, it sounds like work. So it's the idea of playing with these things that you're learning. And so I give you, it's the last chapter, chapter 11, and I give you a chakra balancing exercise. It's very simple to follow along. And this playbook is recorded. If you have the paperback, hardback, and the Kindle edition, you can get the recordings. There are URLs and QR codes, and I recorded the entire playbook. the whole book is on Audible, so you can get it there as well. So you don't have to read along and try to figure out, because especially when you're going inward, stopping to read is difficult. But okay, so I have in here additional meditation techniques I just want to list for you to give you some ideas. So the first one is creativity, and is take a mind vacation while you focus on one activity, which can be cooking, art, crafts, gardening, music, sewing, knitting, organizing, interior decorating, washing dishes, ironing, raking leaves. And I would love to add a new one. I don't have, the book is downstairs, but Colette Baron-Reid partnered with another woman to bring you the art of manifestation, and it's doodle drawing. And there's a whole set of steps to set your intention, to open the portal to the universe, and to truly manifest your intentions. So behind me on the top of my shelf there, you'll see, is one of my first doodle drawings that I colored in with bright colors and everything. And it's hard to see now because it's behind the plant, but there are specific symbols that I added that mean something to me. So you can just do swirls and waves and doodle and put little figures and do whatever you wish as you contemplate. And it's just truly beautiful what can happen from that. And I highly recommend that book. And I'll see if I can put the link below so you can see it. Okay, so the next one is writing. And it's a powerful connection to your higher self. There is something very magical between the pen and spirit. When the pen goes to the paper, it's like this incredible connection, this channeling happens as you write. And you can do the morning pages and just dump things out. You can even start with, I don't know what to write about. But just start writing and let things flow through. It's truly magical when you put the pen to the paper. You can do it with electronics. There's a bit of tapping going on when you type on the keyboard, right? Or your phone. But magic happens when you write longhand or you simply doodle. A lot of times my journals are mostly little drawings that just seem to come out, and you don't have, artistry doesn't come into play. It's just whatever is coming through. And you can even start with that question, like, what do I need to know about and this situation, this person, and go from there. And that's what we do with oracle cards too. And you can go deeper by reading back what you wrote and tapping while you're reading it. You'll have a whole nother layer come through. I do that with journaling a lot, and it's powerful. And you can then also create affirmations from your writing, like I do with the oracle cards on the daily tap with tapping into calm. That's what we do. And then, understanding the wisdom of trees. If you go out on a walk, bring a little notebook with you. Sit by or under a tree and see what comes through. There's something called spirit walking, where you don't have a true destination. Maybe you have a certain amount of time, or you have a neighborhood or somewhere that you want to walk in. But each time you come to a place where you will choose to turn or go forward, straight ahead, turn around, you take a moment, take a breath, check in. What does spirit want me to do today? And just go that way. And it's as you go along, watch for signs from spirit, feathers and coins, certain birds and animals. I often come back home and I look up the significance, spiritual significance of a bird that I saw, or an animal or something, and you'll get a message. And of course, one of the meditation things you can do, and I do this a lot, of course, is using oracle cards and receiving the message that way, and I put some prompts in here for you before you're going to meditate. ask Spirit open-ended questions. Sorry about that, my light went. So you can ask, like, what do I need to know about this issue, as I said before, or this person? What do you want to show me before I start my day? What should I focus on as I go to sleep tonight? Pull 1 or 3 cards. I usually bring 3 different decks and pull 1 from each, and they sort of build upon each other, so you can play with them. I mean, I love playing with them because there's just so much richness in the message, in the artwork, in everything. So you want to, and I have instructions. Excuse me, now I have the hiccups or something. Okay, so I have instructions for you on how to do all these things, and just I do want to note this about reversed cards when they come upside down. A lot of people will kind of get triggered by that, a little freak out, and oh no, it's upside down, that's not good. But actually, it's an extra hug from the universe or from God, Spirit, your choice. And there's a really deep message there for you. And they're always beautifully written. There's never this kind of thing at all. It's very beautiful. And the last part of that I have here is praying. Because I know that many of you use prayer in one way or another. And we can pray anywhere. We can pray to ourselves or out loud with others like we do in church or whatever, but you can pray. And I wrote a story. I just realized this. I have a little instruction to follow my client Eileen's lead from the story in chapter 11 of the Woo Woo Way. Pray and tap. It keeps you grounded in your body while connecting to God, Source, the universe. So a powerful prayer to start or end a meditation is the Serenity Prayer. I think this is a really good thing to share with you as well. It's the Serenity Prayer, and this is just a snippet of it. I know you're familiar, at least most of you are. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and wisdom to know the difference. And then there's finally, I talk about recordings. I love guided meditation. You pop in your earbuds, or if you're on your own, you're just listening to someone on YouTube or someone that you have followed. I have some that I've downloaded when I've been in classes with people learning. And it's just to be able to just relax and listen to the narrator's prompts and talk you through a guided meditation. I do a lot of that in my coaching. We use guided meditation and guided visualization, especially, not necessarily meditation, but it kind of gets that way. But visualization and active imagination. So you can take it anywhere. And what's great is you can have your phone, and you can do that thing I mentioned before, sit under a tree, have your earbuds in, look at the sky, watch the leaves on the trees blow, whatever. And there's also narrated tapping, where you're actually getting narration from, instructions. So that would be like me taking you through a tapping exercise, which, we do the mini ones during the daily tap, where it's tapping into calm. And I have a lot of those. I feel into where you are and what you need and take you through something. And that it's part of the coaching, but you can finish any meditation or journaling and then take a few minutes to write and draw and doodle and get your insights down and your ideas. And then even if they don't make sense, because that's really your intuition, And things make sense. It's like your thinking brain is working. When you have an aha or you write something and it doesn't quite make sense, that is your intuition. That is your higher self, your connection to source, to God. So put the pen and pencil, crayons to paper, and then let the wisdom of your higher self pour onto the page. Okay, that was a lot about meditation, right? Sometimes I don't go this long, but I just really wanted you to know how important it is, and it doesn't matter how you do it. And if you're, and I do have in the book how to meditate in a certain way, but when you're starting, give yourself 5 minutes and then gradually increase 10 minutes, 20 minutes, right? Just give yourself those moments, and you can tune in, and you might just stare at a fan or a candle, as I said, or a beautiful plant, something, and you just look at it and let yourself breathe. If you go off track and you're starting to think of something else, it's okay. Just come back. Come back to the fan. Come back to the plant. It's that easy. So give it a try, and please let me know in the comments how it went for you. And I'm always asking, what do you need? What do you want me to talk about? What do you want me to teach you? How would you like me to use oracle cards, for instance, beyond the daily taps, but also give me information there. And stay with me. Like and subscribe and share, because it really helps the channel and it helps us connect our energy. So until next time, always remember that you are loved, and I see your beauty. I see your light. Shine brightly.